Shalom, all praises unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Ruach Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And shalom to the hopeful elect Arkim that are teaching this word. Shalom Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Ruach Kodash. Now, I've got a clip here of Louis Theroux. And, he basically, Louis Theroux's like that Amalekite BBC documentary. And he does documentaries all over the world and whatnot. And in this one, it's an old one, where, brother's probably seen this clip where he goes to the old school, he goes to the old school and, High Priest Ariel's there, and various other men, that our apostles and elders have taught us about, But in the clip, pretty much, I'm going to play it, brothers have probably already seen this. They go into basically the fact that, history's a lie, basically. This is what the fact is. They go into the fact that history's a lie to him. And, I remember watching this in the world and you think, well, what does this mean? You didn't really understand it because you have to have the Spirit of the Lord to basically understand what's going on, basically. History has been told as a lie, you see? And when you read the comments, it's all about just a bunch of people making jokes because they were pointing out to him that, Tom Jones, one of the, brothers, won't say the name, but basically one of the brothers was pointing out to him that, or one of the men was pointing out to him that pretty much, Tom Jones is an Israelite, William Shakespeare is an Israelite, because he was asking him people in history and he was saying, yeah, they were black men, so-called black men. And Louis Theroux was laughing. And of course, the BBC audience, they're just going to be goyim that will laugh at that. But they were telling him the truth. And I remember watching this in the world and I didn't, not that I laughed, but I didn't get it basically. But now I understand it. History's been told a lie. Because who ruled in the Middle Ages? It was us Israelites, man. So-called Negroes ruled Europe for 1,000 years. All right. And in the Americas, it was the Northern Kingdom. In the Americas, like mainland America, during the time of the Middle Ages and prior, in the Americas, who was it? It was the native tribes were ruling, which were the Northern Kingdom. So these Edomites, these so-called white people have completely lied on history. So I'm going to play this clip and then I've got some scriptures written also.
Go back to my seat.
Certainly.
Yeah.
And if any of you have to go to the bathroom or want a drink of water, we have those facilities for you. Come on in, High Priest Kazak.
Nice to meet you.
It travels all over the world constantly. Travels all over.
And of Israel, saluting Chief High Priest Kazak. Much. Roll. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakah. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakah.
Can I give you a list of historical figures, prominent figures from history, and you'll tell me whether or not they were white or black?
Shoot, give me your best shot.
Where do we start? Okay, Beethoven.
Black.
Mozart.
Black.
Cleopatra.
Because we know that the so-called white man has rewritten history, all right? So if someone was to tell you, look, these great people of the past were these times were people of color, mainly so-called Negroes, people would laugh. But guess what? Now that we're at the end, truth is coming out that white Esau, the Edomites, or where they call themselves white today, the truth's coming out that these people have rewritten history. That truth's coming out, and the main image that they portrayed as themselves and lied on was whom the world calls the J word, which we know his name is Yahweh Shai. So history's totally a lie, man. The history of this world is totally a lie.
She looked black, but she was white.
She looked black, but
listen,
she was
you're not
white.
answering my question. It's not the color of your
Because Cleopatra was, I believe she was of the line of the Ptolemies. She was an Edomite. She was actually a so-called white woman, all right? She was not a so-called black woman, Cleopatra. Because why? Because the Edomites, they took over, the so-called white man, the Edomites took over Egypt. And guess what? They were calling themselves the pharaohs and whatnot. They took over Egypt, all right? So the people in this society don't know nothing about history and even there was, I'm not gonna mention that, but pretty much the so-called white people, the Edomites, the Greeks took over Egypt, all right? And sat as the kings over there and called themselves the pharaohs, okay?
skin that you're being judged by, but the seed of your father.
William Shakespeare.
Oh, so he told him something. This is the teachings we learned. The priest told him, look, it's not the color of your skin, but the spirit of your father that you're judged by. That's what we teach. See, what does Esau teach in this world? Esau teaches, not to sway it onto a different topic, but Esau teaches what is, well, one, they go by your mother. They teach there's something called mix, people of mixed ethnicity, which there isn't. You go by the seed of your father. And another thing they teach in this world also is color, the color of skin. If you look that way, you are that, basically. That's why even not to change the topic, but even in slavery, what did Esau do in slavery? He enslaved his own children. Because Esau would have seeds by the Israelite women or the women of nations he's conquered, and he would put them in slavery because they didn't look like so-called white people. They might look like people of color, so he'd put them in slavery. Showing you how stupid these devils are, man. But let me just rewind this, sorry, because I was talking a lot there.
Shall I go back to my tea?
Certainly.
Yeah.
And if any of you have to go to the bathroom or want a drink of water, we have those facilities for you. Come on in, High Priest Kazak.
Nice to meet you. You've flown in.
It travels all over the world constantly. Travels all over.
Individual saluting Chief High Priest Kazak. Imagine. Roll. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakah. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakah. Okay.
Can I give you a list of historical figures, prominent figures from history, and you'll tell me whether or not they were white or black?
Shoot, give me your best shot.
Where do we start? Okay, Beethoven.
Black.
Mozart.
Black.
Cleopatra.
She looked black, but she was white.
She looked black, but
listen,
she was
you're not
white.
answering my question. It's not the color of your skin that you're being judged by, but the seed of your father.
William Shakespeare.
Undoubtedly black, without question.
Abraham Lincoln.
That's still in debate.
So there you go. But of course, because this is a BBC audience, the comment boards, people making fun and whatever, but the world's going to find this out. And things like this are already happening because even Esau's Middle Ages history, because what's happening, Jakes in the world are making channels about how so-called whites never ruled in the Dark Ages and things like that. There's people putting information out there. So these Edomites, their whole lie on race and history is all being exposed, man. So let me read this. Let me read this here. I want to read this actually. So like it. This is Isaiah 27. I believe it is 27. Let me go from here. Salakia, bear me a second. No, it's Isaiah 25 and 7. Isaiah 25, okay? 25 and 7. It says, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. And who's the he that will destroy in this mountain? The he is the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right? He's destroying in this mountain the face of the covering cast. What's the covering cast? The lies, all right, that the so-called white man has spread. He spread his tentacles and lied throughout the earth, all right? This is what the so-called white man's done. And I got that in Revelation 20 when they had the great chain on them for a period of time. There was a period of 1,000 years where the so-called white man fell, all right? And that chain is symbolic of what? Captivity. They had no say on the earth, man, okay? And when I say so-called white man, I'm talking about the Edomites, the people in the rulership seat of the planet today. They had no say for a period of 1,000 years. And they were completely at the bottom. All right? Just completely at the bottom. And it says, so they spread their lies no more, the scripture says. But let me read what it said here. So it says, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. And Esau spread a veil over all nations. Because what was the first point of call when these Edomites started getting power on the planet? Completely whitewashed history. The history of what we call today Europe, Jake ruled, so we left a lot of our pictures, our statues and things like that in Europe, and he done something called iconoclasm. Iconoclasm was basically the whitening up of the dark images all throughout Europe. Now they couldn't do it to all of them because the Lord wouldn't allow that. How are we going to find the truth out there? And the Lord, obviously a lot of artifacts were left. So in the end, when we get to wake up again, that can be evidence and facts that we use for the truth. So Esau couldn't do it to all of them, but you know, we used to have those images of those Jesuit priests, so-called Jew Jesuits, man, and they will go around Europe, which are nothing but witches and warlocks themselves, and they will go around Europe and the world and destroy the artifacts of the evidence of our people ruling, basically. That was their job. That's why today people think King James was a white man. You know, people think who the world calls the J word is a so-called white man. It's hard for them to believe he was a black man, even though that truth's coming out. You know, people think all the great kings of the Crusades were so-called white people when they were our people. The Knights Templar, King Richard the Lionhearted, you know, Rollo the Viking, which married into them French lines. They were all so-called Negroes, man. The Vikings were so-called black men. But Esau paints them out as these big, even now when you watch the TV shows, they're these big muscly Edomite dudes. That was not the case. They were so-called black men of one of the tribes, you know? So it says, hey, probably could have been the tribe of Benjamin, you know? Because they were kind of some wild kind of dudes, those Vikings. So it says, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people and the veil that is spread over all nations. So the veil, that veil and the lies that Esau has spread are now coming apart, man. Well, they've been coming apart, but they're even coming apart even more now, all right? And also what's happening now as well, these so-called white people, that label of Edom is starting to spread around the world, man, all right? Of who they are, all right? Because that's what one thing they've done. They've lied on all this history, covered up history and showed the world lies, you know, and they've just avoided who they really are, which is the Edomites. But now it's all unraveling. So who's destroying this veil? Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. You know, is destroying that veil of lies. So let me play this clip here. This is from the brother's channel, Arrows of Indignation. You know, he's got a video called History is a Lie, all right? So let me play some of this here.
History is a lie. How was a son of the first Stuart King of Scotland described? From The Book of Aaron by W.M. Mackenzie. For one, natural son of Robert II, found a place in the new hereditary sheriffdom of Bute and Arran, which was in existence at least by 1385, and among the perquisites of the office this John Stuart, the dark-complexioned or black, had corrigills in Arran. John Stuart, son of the first Stuart King of Scotland, is described as having a dark complexion. It must have been darker than usual because he was nicknamed the Black Stuart, similar to how King Charles II was nicknamed Black Boy. It was a nickname coined by his mother because of the darkness of his skin and eyes. He was described being of a sable hue. See our previous video for full context. For John Stuart to be at the later end of the complexion spectrum, at the very least one parent had to be melanated. But realistically, to be dark enough to be nicknamed the Black, both parents had to be melanated. Well, so what if the Stuarts were melanated? Why is the complexion of John Stuart important? Let's read how the inhabitants of the same island of Arran, under the sheriffdom of John Stuart, were described some 300 years later, during the first years of the 1700s. From A Description of the Western Islands of Scotland by Martin Martin, published in 1716. The Isle of Arran. The inhabitants of this isle are well proportioned, generally brown, and some of a black complexion. They enjoy a good slate of health and have a genius for all callings or employ. So, some 330 years later, after John the Black Stuart received the sheriffdom of...
Salakia, my internet's... That's Satan. The internet's playing up. Salakia. That's Satan there, man. The internet is playing up all of a sudden. It's been fine all day. Now it doesn't.
Bute and Arran. The descendants of those people are described as brown and some black of complexion. Surely the people of Arran must be the exception to the rule. Quote, Jura. The Isle of Jura is, by a narrow channel of about half a mile broad, separated from Ela.
You get the point. This is from the brother's channel, Arrows of Indignation 144, and he puts up good videos. And this video, he puts up very good videos. And of course, this video is from, you know, this history video that he's put up is from a TikTok channel. So this is what I was saying in the sense of the truth getting out there, because even on the TikTok, you're seeing the history of the so-called white man being exposed as lies, man. So our people were up in the UK from up until the 1700s. The Stuarts, the Battle of the Roses, that was all Negroes, man. Up until the 1700s. So even when Esau was in power from the Renaissance period, they fully didn't take us down. We still had strongholds all throughout Europe. So the point is, people of color, mainly so-called Negroes, African American, Haitian, and West Indians, what they call today, ruled in Europe, man. That's the point. And history's been told a lie, man. So let me read this here. This is 2 Corinthians 11 and 14. 2 Corinthians 11 verse 14. It says, "And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light." All right. And who's Satan? Satan is the Edomites. The three parts of men. When the Lord created the three parts of men, who did he create? He created the sons of the sons of the power, which are the Israelites, which are you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. He created the sons of men, all right, which is all the other nations. For example, the East Indians, the Chinese, the Japanese, they would be considered the sons of men. And then he created the third part of man, which the Lord made, was the sons of the wicked, which is who today? The so-called white man, the Edomite male. The so-called white man, woman, and child, they are the Edomites. They're the sons and daughters of the wicked. That's their lineage, all right? So what's happened today is no marvel, for Satan himself has transformed into an angel of light. Yeah, they've transformed themselves. People in this world have been following these Edomites as if they're angels of light, man, like they're good people. And why is that? The big part of that was the deception throughout history. The lies Esau told, man. Desecrating our images, the true people of the Lord's images, all right, and putting their image up. Because that's what you got to do when you rule, when you take a people over, you have to put your image up as an image of power. You can't put another nation above your image if you're in rulership. So that's what the so-called white people have done, the Edomites, namely their elites, all right? Namely their elites. Because that was the first point of call when they took us down, all right? Beginning with them Ottoman Turks, man. And this is some of their history here. They took us down and they started desecrating our images. They were paid Jesuits to desecrate our image. And that's how now, in this world that we've lived in, all these lies have been told. And also that's how now Satan, which is Esau, their image is like the image of an angel of light in this world. Oh, they're the good guys. They're just, they're here to help. All these lies that they've portrayed, man. So this is Revelation 20, and I'll start from the top. It says, "And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit, and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years." All right. That great chain, all right, is symbolic of the power that the Lord gave unto the children of Israel at the time. Because who was in slavery in the first leg of the Roman Empire? All right. It was so-called Negroes. All right. We were, and other nations also, but particularly so-called Negroes. We were like the slaves in Rome. All right, but we were the gladiators. We were in their armies, and also another thing I want to say: who was the ruling class in Rome in the first leg of the Roman Empire, the pagan Roman Empire? Who were the ruling class people? Edomites. So we were at the bottom, all right, and they had us in slavery just like they have today. But this is what happened because Rome fell. All right, so it says, and he laid that chain the bottomless pit is Europe, and the great chain in his hand basically is symbolic of slavery. Because that great chain was put on the Romans, the Edomites, to shut them up from power, basically. And then they were enslaved. And who did it? The children of Israel did it. So he says, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. And for 1,000 years, they were not in power. That's why Esau, whenever Esau's historians talk about the Middle Ages, they always talk about it as a time. So when Rome fell, it's like when the pagan Roman Empire fell, from then up until this period that we're in now, Rome 2.0, they talk about it in a bad way. It was a bad part of history. It was full of disease. It was this, it was that. The reason why they say that is because so-called black people ruled. They never ruled. But this is what it's talking about, the 1,000 years, all right? They were bound for 1,000 years. They were in slavery for 1,000 years, all right? The Edomites were insane. This is where they're going back into, all right? Because this is the time that they've been out back again. And look at the chaos they've caused, man. It says, and cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more. Yeah, exactly. So that seal was set on the Edomites by Israel for 1,000 years, so they should deceive the nations no more. So they can't tell their lies, man. The scriptures tell you about the Edomites. They're fathers of lies, man. So he's got this, the Lord let the Edomites get back into the rulership seat. And what have they done? They've completely lied on history. They're everybody. They're the samurais. They're the Native Americans now. You know, if this kingdom was to go on, they will be, you know, they will basically be so-called Negroes, would have been white in history, which they've already done that already. But you know what I mean? Michael Jordan would turn into an Edomite. You know? It's madness. So it says, set a seal upon him. They should deceive the nations no more. Till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosed a little season. And this is the season that we're in. This little season that we're in right now. All right? They've been loosed. They've been allowed to rule again. Beginning with what? The Renaissance period. The Renaissance period. And well, really, the Ottoman Empire took us down. You know, then Esau was taking us down in Spain and different parts. There was wars going on. And our people were gradually losing power. But guess what? So-called Negroes were in rulership positions up until the 1800s. Even in some cases later, even in Russia, it was up until, I believe, the late 1800s. So Negroes were on thrones up until these times also, but they're not going to tell you that. But this 1,000-year period is when the so-called white man was completely had no say. But they've been loose now. This little season they've been loose is this period that we're in now. From the Renaissance period up until now. So it says, and after that, he must be loosed a little season. So that's from the Renaissance up until today. They have been loosed for that little season. All right. And they've caused nothing but chaos, man. Let me play a bit more of this clip here. But they're going back into slavery. This kingdom's about to be finished. But the point is, history of this society is just one complete lie, man.
Mile broad separated from Elah. Let's jump a few pages where the author describes the physical characteristics and culture of the people of Jura. Quote, the natives here are very well proportioned, being generally black of complexion and free from bodily imperfections. They speak the Irish language and wear the plaid bonnet, like other islanders.
See, that's why we've told you the Irish were a lot of the descendants of, see, what you see in Ireland today is Edomites, but there is so-called blacks among them. Our people are among them. But the ruling class in Ireland is Edomites. All right. But it's telling you there that I believe you said it was called the island of Jura. You know, that their names. It said they were people of color. Scotland also, Wales, Great Britain, all of it.
Well, surely the people of Arran and Jura were the exception to the rule. The Isle of Carray. The inhabitants are all Protestants and speak the Irish language generally, there being but a few that speak English. They are grave and reserved.
Just another thing, quickly, another one, because now in Ireland, of course, over the years, we all know the Protestant and Catholic beef that they've had. That goes back to our history. They're telling you that in this. The people in those isles were what? Protestant. So that Protestant and Catholic and all the religious, all the religious issues goes back to our people. So even Esau's, the problems that, you know, Esau, it basically, you know, like you see a lot of these Irish, they'll talk about the Protestant and Catholic beef, but they're talking about our history. They're just inheriting our history. Now, some of them people, of course, we know are Israelites, but then also Esau's among them also.
In their conversation, they are accustomed not to bury on Friday. They are fair or brown in complexion. Right, you get the point. Highlanders in the Scottish mainland and Irish had similar complexions.
So, you know, with that, I'm going to say all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Ruach Kodash, double honors unto our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the hopeful elect Akim teaching this word. Shalom Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Ruach Kodash. Shalom, shalom.